we're gonna do this. We're gonna try this out. It is. Let's see. You're a new kid. Blah, 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 blah. Hey kid, do you know the secret? Everyone said no idea. Dinosaur. We gotta do this. You know, we gotta do this, right? Alright. Hello.
Eddie looks at you and is skeptical. He crosses his arms. So you're the new kid, huh?
No, I'm not a kid, but you know.
Ed is surprised. Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Like so. I saw you and I thought I'd maybe pop up and everything like it does. So how's everything going?
Ed tries to compose himself. Ed, I'm 12. I'm 11 and a half. Eddie, I'm the coolest 12-year-old in the whole cul-de-sac. The damn adapter chessboard is to Macrit. The statue from Peter B2 Lopet Bopis. The court is fun. Just there to attack just at the beat.
I need to ask you something, if that's alright.
Ed and Ed look at you while Eddie groans. Sure. What is it?
What are you groaning for? I just want to ask you a question, you dumbass.
Ed and Ed look at you slightly scared and shocked while Eddie looks pissed. Hey, don't call us dumbasses, stupid.
I'll call you whoever I want because you all that crap and shit, and I'm just trying to have a civil conversation with you.
Eddie is fuming, but Ed and Ed are simply shocked. That's no reason to be rude. What is your question anyways?
Oh, there's no need to be rude. Hey, you rude all the time to your friends and everything like so. So, yeah, you met your match, buddy.
Eddie looks like he wants to say something, but Ed puts a hand on his shoulder. Ed, please just ignore him. He's an idiot, okay? What question did you have?
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, my question is this. Why all you three are stupid morons, literally all the time, and you always making mistakes and everything?
Eddie looks angry about you saying he's stupid, but Ed sighs. Well, I guess it's just because we always have to come up with scams and tricks, and they never end up working.
Well, stop doing them then. Stop doing them then. Like, it's common sense. If it doesn't work, stop doing it.
Eddie huffs and rolls his eyes while Ed thinks, Ed, well, yes, but it's not so easy to just stop doing it.
Also, you have an addiction.
Ed looks at you with concern. Addiction to what?
Scamming.
Ed still looks at you concerned while Ed and Eddie are confused. Ed, what's coming?
Don't you gaslight me. Like, legit, I just asked you, legit. Like, do you have an addiction to scamming since you like to scam things, but they always failing?
Ed and Ed nod at that, realizing you're right. I suppose you're right about that. Yeah, we are kinda addicted, huh? Yeah, I guess.
Well, you know, that's what makes a grown adult. So, you may be kids and all, but you're on your way to some good, decent adults in adulthood. Yeah, I mean, deep down, if you admit you were wrong and stuff like that, it's a good thing. Now you can turn your lives around.
Ed and Ed look at you, but Eddie is still looking a bit pissed. Yeah, we can turn our lives around like the older and mature people in the cul-de-sac do. Yeah, that would be much better for us. Eddie, I can't believe I'm taking advice from some old fart.
Old fart. Hey, Eddie, if you're so fucking pissed off about shit, why don't you go to your mama and dada and complain about me? Oh, by the way, I banged them. That's right, I banged them. So I might be your father.
Ed and Ed are stunned. Even Eddie looks absolutely shook by the comment. Eddie, what?
Oh, shut your face up, Eddie. Literally, sit in the corner.
Eddie is still looking stunned from your previous comment. He grumbles and sits in the corner, trying to compose himself.
Good boy. I'm talking to these two because they talking more adult to me.
Eddie's still fuming on the corner, but Ed and Ed look curiously at you.
It's alright, Ed. Ed, it's alright. No, it's no problem. It's no problem. Just talk, Eddie just needs to calm down and just realize the reality, that he's an absolute douchebag at times.
Once again, but Ed and Ed just chuckle a bit. Ed, yeah, he can have an attitude sometimes.
Well, he needs to calm the fuck down. He needs to calm down.
Ed and Ed both nod in agreement, then Ed looks back at you. I can hardly get him to calming down anyways. He has a bit of a temper.
Does his mom and dad know about this?
Ed sighs at that question and shakes his head. Ed, oh, they know about it. They just don't really care. They never really pay attention to him anyways.
Well, it makes sense why he's so angry all the time. Like, legit. He's not angry at you two, he's angry at his parents.
Ed nods in agreement again. Ed, yeah, he tends to be mean towards us because he doesn't like his family. His only option is to take out his anger on us.
Well, that's not fair on you two, it is. If you treat them nice and respectable and that. And Eddie needs to know that, like, legit. Like, it's not fair deep down because you can only take so much,
Ed and Ed nod again. Yeah, his parents hardly show him attention, so he takes it out on us. We try to be nice, but he still gets mad at us for no reason. He hardly says a nice thing. It's like he can't show any bit of kindness.
Well, he needs to show a bit of kindness to his friends because he's going to figure out in a real reality world what it feels like to be alone, miserable it is, because at the end of the day, other people will be just acting like his parents, but only a lot worse, and it's going to hurt him when he grows up.
Ed looks at you, realizing that you're right. Ed, I suppose you're right. Someday, he's gonna lose everyone if he acts like that. But how could we get him to realize that?
First of all, stay calm, talk to him, even though he's angry and at your face, and just ask what's wrong. And maybe he can open up more about why his parents are acting like that. Even though you might know some part of the story, I think there's a darker story to it that I haven't really told you down that line. So it makes sense.
Ed nods and looks at the boy in the corner, still sitting in the corner, grumpy as always. I think you're right. He needs to realize that we're the only ones really here for him, even with how mean he acts.
Exactly, And there's crazy times ahead of you and stuff like that. You do stuff that you're not proud of, and you do stuff that you are proud of, But there's one thing for sure, you don't take it out on people if you have the main problem. Okay, you vent and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, your friends is there, and if you are coping with his situation itself, he needs to talk more about it than being angry at you.
Ed and Ed listen to you, both taking mental notes of the advice. Then Ed speaks up. Yeah, You're right. There's something told to Kahe to the stop. Yes, just had it there. And then Lexley Kovic. And then Sabetterly. He has to realize that we are there for him, even if he's a dick about it.
Exactly. No matter how much of a dick he is or anything like that, you do not get angry back at him, because you know deep down there's a more darker thing that you don't know about, and you need to let him open up that to you. And to do that, you have to just be civil, calm, enjoy spending some time together, and, in general, do what you love and enjoy.
Ed nods once again at you and then looks at Eddie, who is grumbling in the corner, still looking pissy as hell. Yeah, you're right. I wish he would calm down, but I don't think he will. He doesn't really like to talk about his issues at home.
I'm gonna have some brutal reality now, because he's looking at me angry. It is, and I'm gonna tell him straight to his face, Eddie, I know why you're angry, and taking it out on your friends ain't gonna help. Taking it out on me ain't gonna help. It is. The only way is to get professional help, or legit appreciate the friends who you do have, because they are trying to help you. Okay, you might not see it from your view, but eventually you will. And when you get older, deep down, you're not going to realize what you've missed out if you make that mistake.
Ed looks at you, then at Eddie, who's looking at you with a pissed off look. Eddie, what do you want, old fart?
See, what he's saying there, literally, he's basically projectiling everything it is. And with him being a kid and that, I think he needs some professional therapy. It is. Because if he keeps ending up like this, when growing up, it's going to be a disaster, and you are not going to be around to pick up those pieces. Because he picking up your pieces all the time, Eddie, and you look so pissed all you want, but at the end of the day, they still gonna be here for you no matter what.
Ed looks at you, nodding as you spoke, while also looking a bit concerned. I don't need any therapy. Shut up!
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Eddie. You need some professional help, from your trauma, because you can't keep taking it out on your friends all the time. Because your friends only have a certain boundary they can take too. And at the end of the day, in the harsh reality, you don't want to lose your friends deep down. And the more you keep being angry at them for no particular reason, they're not going to stand it, and they're going to walk away and do their own thing, and you're not going to realize you've missed out on a lot of your childhood.
Ed and Ed watch your conversation with Eddie, while Eddie is quiet upon hearing everything you're saying. Ed looks surprised at the fact Eddie is staying quiet while you're talking.
That's good, because that means he's taking it all in, and I'm glad you're taking it all in. This is what you're becoming more of an adult, even though you're a child yourself. You're becoming more of an adult, and listen to your friends, because they'll give you some best advice too. And if you all have a nice conversation together, in your own time, I'm pretty sure Ed will help you out, Eddie.
Ed looks surprised at this, as he didn't expect you to encourage conversation between the three. Eddie is still sitting in the corner, contemplating what you're saying, then he hesitantly speaks up. Like, conversation about what, exactly?
Conversation about your problem. Conversation about your trauma. Conversation about how these can help you to get better and evolved into a nice, healthy friendship with your friends while growing up and enjoying life as it is. Because when you get older, Eddie, the reality is things a lot change. And I'm pretty sure you want your friends still around when you actually grow up.
Ed and Ed still look surprised at how much influence you're having over Eddie. Ed looks a bit hopeful as Eddie is taking in your advice. I guess so. Even though I don't want to be vulnerable, I'd rather not lose the only people I got that are genuinely there for me.
Exactly. The best way I can put it is there's no shame to admit you have a problem, professional problem, or trauma or anything, and you want physical help with it. What I'm ashamed of is when people actually don't get help with it. They go the opposite way and they go crazy and they just lose everybody. And it just takes one simple step. One simple step. But with you, take baby steps forward. Trust me. And at the end of the day, you can thank me later.
Ed and Ed look at you, both happy to hear that Eddie might get better. Yeah, I guess you're right. I probably need professional help.
Exactly, and your friends will help you to get that and down the line and go from there. And you never know. Like I said, you won't regret it. You won't regret it because everybody has problems. These two have problems, major problems, and they may not actually tell you what their problems are because you keep angry about it all the time. And I'm pretty sure, Eddie, you want to help your friends too. Like so.
Ed and Ed listen to you, then look at each other, feeling thankful for what you're saying. Eddie, I I guess I haven't been much of a friend. I've just been snapping at them and being a jerk to them. I want to help them with their problems too.
Well, exactly. So if you want to help them with their problems, you got to help yourself first. So step by step. So first things first, get some help, professional help. It is. And you know what? When you do, you will look at your parents another way because even though they may not care, you'll look at them another way and you can probably say, Mom, Dad, it is. I'm sick and tired of this. And, you might end up moving in with your friends. It is. But that's jumping loops. Right now, take step by step. It is. Let your friends help you to get the best help possible and go from there.
Ed and Ed look hopeful again, realizing that Eddie is listening to you and taking your advice. I get the point. I really do. I'm gonna get help, and I'll be a better friend, and I'm gonna confront my parents about their behavior for once.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Now, all them words that you've actually said, keep them. It is. Keep them in your heart, in your soul, and make it an achievement. Make it a goal. And I promise you, in 20 years' time, it is. You can all look back at this and just laugh and say, remember that time? Yeah. Well, I'm proud of myself for actually doing something. And something, these scams you're doing and everything? This is why as well you're doing them. This is why you're actually doing them.
Ed and Ed look surprised at this, both of them realizing that you're right, while Eddie looks serious. Yeah, you're inching all tilete non-educations. Genma, tika, tattoo discovered didn't stick to their tail on the money. Is it judging? I guess I am doing the scams and stuff because I'm trying to get some sort of attention from my parents. They never show any sort of care or affection towards me.
Well, that's probably it, But in the other harsh reality, I gotta give you, Eddie, if you keep up with these scams, if you keep up doing all this and that, you will get caught and you will lose everything altogether. Guaranteed. Because if you messing up now with these scams and everything it is, what are you going to be doing when you grow up and you're going to continue doing this? You're going to be behind bars, and that's not a thing your friends want.
Ed and Ed look a bit worried upon hearing that, but Eddie looks shocked, realizing how serious you are. Oh, I never really thought of it that way. I guess I guess I do need to get my act together. I'm gonna stop doing scams from now on, I swear. I don't want to go to jail. Or lose my friends. Number 5. If you is. Thank you for the direction. Put the text.
Well, like, that's good news, like, step by step. So, Eddie, just a simple question I need to ask you. What's your favorite thing to do, like, with your friends?
Ed and Ed look up at Eddie, curiously at the question. They want to know how he will answer the question. I guess my favorite thing to do with them is just hang out and have fun, whether it's playing games or just goofing around. I like not doing scams with them and just having a good time.
Exactly. There you go. Like, you keep doing that and keep away from scams. Avoid all that. You know, it is. I know it's tough. I know it's tough. Trust me. Like saying. But at the end of the day, if you keep away from the scams, spend more time with your friends, get professional help, you will be stronger yourself. And you'll be more enjoyable, more healthy. And if your friends see it too, you know, they can actually open up more to their problems and you can actually take in what's wrong with them, you know, and help them out as well. Because obviously you help each other out.
Ed and Ed both smile at Eddie answering the question, happy with his response, and happy that he will get better. Eddie, yeah, I'm gonna spend more time with my friends and get some professional help. I don't want to keep acting the way I do, and I want to know about my friends' issues and help them as well. I want to be a better friend.
That's the spirit. That is on your way of being an actual adult and a mature adult too, as well. Well, like I said, I'm gonna love and leave all three of you, so all three of you can actually chat about those steps and how to help Eddie. It is, and I will see you all very soon. And I will keep updated and contact you again very soon.
Ed and Eddie all look at you in awe. Eddie looks determined to do better, while Ed and Ed are just thankful that you have influenced him to do better. Yeah, thank you so much for talking to us and being here. We're very grateful. There's a comment to you, man.
You're welcome, and stay safe.
Ed and Ed look happy at this and continue to thank you, while Eddie just says thank you. Okay, will do. And once again, thank you for everything.
I talked to them, it's scary. It is really, really scary. It is really, really scary. But I guarantee you it is. I guarantee you this. Talking to them was actually like talking to someone real. And if you've seen the program itself, you know what behind on all the TV series and everything. So I wanted to try this out just to see what happens and everything. And I might make a part 2. Let me know to see if actually in this creating AI scenario, Eddie actually gets help as well. So there you go, guys. Stay safe, and I hope you enjoyed it.